This week on Thursdays with Rob and Paul, we are joined by Jon Gabrus, the co-host of 101 Places to Party Before You Die, plus the inventor, curator, and old school grandma of Grandma Party Hotline. Identities are not revealed, but the phone line is laid bare for us all. Plus, Rob and I talk about our 4th of July, and we get into Ikea's menu and what was good about it and what was not so hot. All this and more on Thursdays with Rob and Paul. This is something that my wife does that drives me crazy. For the last 5-6 years, her voicemail is always full. So whenever I call her, it just goes, mailbox is full.
Yeah.
Please try again. And then I never get more upset. And I know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And but I know that she doesn't like to get voicemails. She just wants to get texts. But it drives me insane because I know how to text my wife. But there are moments where I'm like, I just want to get this down. I want to say it out loud. And then if I want to leave like a nice voicemail, if I want,
are you a phone talky person? Like, do you like to call? I haven't called anyone in like 5 years. You know, like I never call people.
I go back and forth. Like it depends. Like sometimes it's a little bit more complicated. I will like when I want to get a nuance across. I'll definitely call people. I mean, I have to call certain people, my parole officer.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, I have to, Derek. I got to make sure that I have to call
what do you
Santa.
Say when you call Derek? What do you say when you call?
Say, Derek, this is
checking in.
I say this is Paul Scheer, 765-9278A. Checking in. Went looking for work this week, couldn't find it, and he's upset because I won't only do premium streaming. Like he's like, no, you got to go to like. Any sort of place to work, if it's a Hardee's or a Sonic, Home Depot.
You only apply for jobs at premium streamers?
Not jobs. I only audition for shows. Premium, premium streamer shows. So,
okay.
And high-end stuff. I won't work with first-time writers or directors. I want to work with, I'm like, hey, Sean Levy, what are you up to? If you're having a TV show, I'll audition. Like, well, there's no parts for it. And I'm like, well, I tell Derek, Derek, I tried this week.
I tried to audition for Stranger Things with Sean Levy, but he wouldn't have. The show was cast. Well, Paul, I wanted to say, I wanted to thank you officially for inviting me to your 4th of July blowout.
Yes, we had a small 4th of July block party. And we extended that invitation to a handful of people who did not live on the block, and you were one of them, you and your lovely family. But it was a basketball tournament, so you had to come to play.
Well, I wasn't aware of that. I'll be honest. I thought that was like, I wasn't aware that there was going to be so much emphasis on sports and basketball and stuff like that. I thought,
this is all June, by the way. This is not me. It's not me trying to.
I haven't seen that side of your wife before. And
she's a vicious competitor.
So competitive.
She was ejected from the basketball tournament at my son's 8th birthday party because she got into a fight with a ref. Now, just so you know, for people who were wondering, we hired a ref. There's a real ref. Ref Ethan is there watching the game.
I didn't like him. He called me on a lot of fouls.
You did good. You did really good. And just so everyone knows, it's only a 3-minute long game. 3 minutes. Whoever gets the most points in 3 minutes.
But that's misleading. It's so we played 1-on-1 for 3 minutes, and you would win or lose, and the winner would keep going. But so I got there with my family, and that you had a bartender and people cooking and stuff like that, and food.
We had
so excited
giant slip and slide, a giant slip and slide
filled with champagne. I heard at which to me, Paul, we'll talk about this offline, but I do have a problem with that.
Let me tell you a couple things. There is a water issue here in Los Angeles, a drought.
Yeah, we're in a drought.
So we got champagne instead because there is no champagne issue. That's from France.
Yeah,
so
but the problem is, Paul, is that kids go. It's primarily kids going through the slip and slide. So it's kids slipping and sliding in alcohol.
You can't get drunk on champagne though, because you're not supposed to. And we always tell the kids straight up, don't drink this. Slip on it.
All right.
Don't drink.
Anyway, I was hoping that I would be able to, see old friends and enjoy their company and tell funny, hear people's funny stories and anecdotes or whatever, maybe shoot off some fireworks or do some street vandalism or, whatever we were going to do. But it was all basketball. In fact, I had to go first. I got there with my family, and next thing I heard, because you didn't play, Paul, you were hosting it on the mic.
I am doing the music and the sound effects, I'm trying to keep the energy going, because it is a lot of basketball playing. And I told June, like, well, I think some people do want to socialize a little bit, but the kids go off and socialize, and then you watch adults get a little bit more competitive. But it was a fun competitive. And when you left, the pickleball court came out, and then it just started all up again.
I know, but
hardcore pickleball.
But very, very briefly, I wanted to say that I did pull or pop an Achilles heel or something like that. Like, I've been limping for like 5 days because I didn't stretch, because June threw me into it.
I said, June, you can't throw Rob in right out of the gate. Rob just got here.
Some video. I have some video. Maybe I'll email it to Molly and she can show us later. But
I will say that I'll throw some video. I have some there too I can send. But I know it was like, and also like, this is a block party, so it's like these are not people that always know each other. We had some people that I'm sure you recognize, some people that but it's hard to even go off and meet them, because people are either intent on their next thing.
I should have asked you this offline, but who's the guy that won? Who won? Because he was so nice to me, and I spaced on his name. He was like, "Hey, man."
Lovely guy, an amazingly good guy. He's my next door neighbor. His name is Sean, and very funny.
How do I know him?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a block party. He's my next door neighbor. You might know him.
He was so familiar. He was like, "Hey, what's up, Rob? How are you, dude? I haven't seen you in so long." And I was like, "Who is this?
Wait.
Who is this?
No, you know who that is. Who? Sorry, that's a different guy. Talking about Justin.
Yeah,
Justin Halpern. Justin Halpern.
Yeah.
Great comedy writer. They came up with the Twitter account. Shit, my dad says. And now created the Harley Quinn TV show.
Okay, great.
And is one of the producers of Abbott Elementary.
You know how I am. I'm the worst about everybody's names.
Yeah. Great guy. Lives down the block from me.
I told you before the show that I'm still dealing with. I gotta just look and see if my wife is looking in the garage. I'm dealing with this situation with my wife, because my wife thinks I was a little flirty with the bartender.
Ooh, that is a tricky situation. How do you get out? And now, were you flirty? What did you do?
No. Okay. When we were leaving, I'm with my wife, right, holding her hand and holding my daughter's hand.
Yes.
We're leaving, and we walk by the guy at the grill. I forgot his name, but I said, "Thank you so much. That was so lovely." Yeah. And then we walked by the bartender, who was female, and I said, "Thank you so much." And we got to the car, and my wife said, "Well, that was a little flirty." Wow. And I said, who was I flirting with? And she was like, "Seems like you wanted to get to know the bartender." And so, Paul, I wouldn't have come to the barbecue if I'd known that you were going to set up these traps.
Sabotage.
You're trying to make marriage is already hard, Paul. So I don't need to be sabotaged.
By the way,
female bartender,
we normally try to, we put up a screen between the bartender and the person at the bar, so you don't even have to see their face. But what a great fun move. I mean, you have a family, you're there with your wife. To even be flirting, even to try that flirting, like on both sides of it, it's a no-win situation. Do you think that whoever you're flirting with is like, ooh, who's this dad?
Who's this available?
Wife and child with him. Oh, I'm interested.
I'm going to take over this family. I'd like to be a mom. I want to be an instant mom.
I want to get in there. I want to make my life complicated.
I'm gonna screw my whole life up. And I
get yelled at a lot when June says that I am too friendly with like people, but I'm not flirting. I'm not trying to flirt, but she's like, it's enough. Don't you have to be that friendly with people? I'm like,
with people of the opposite sex, or just with everybody?
It could be checking into a hotel. It could be with a waiter or waitress. She doesn't like that I am reaching out and just being, it's too much.
I could see that. I mean, you are very, very friendly. Is it that it's holding up the process? You're trying to get to the hotel room.
No, I'm not going, "Hey, what did you study in school?" I'm just sort of great. How is the weather? Like, I'm not by the way, I'm not a person that like my dad is a person who engages in a lot of small talk and stuff. I'm not for that. But but sometimes, I try to, give out some positive vibes, positive energy,
Yeah. I'm the opposite. Like this morning, my daughter's going to summer school for a month.
Yeah.
She's in kindergarten going into.
By the way, did you think I felt like, I haven't really, I won't say your daughter's name on camera because I know that you trademarked it.
Yeah, she goes by Prince.
Yeah. So Prince, I felt like I had a little bit of a good breakthrough there because I never want to, like, I always feel like I don't want to be the adult that makes too much of a beeline to kids, because I feel like that you see a lot of adults who put a lot of their own self-worth on how kids react to them. I try to get myself out of that equation. I'm just sort of like, hey, how you doing? And let it come. I mean, and it's as a parent, you always have to, like, I always feel weird like justifying it because people are like, oh, you're like, they come at my kids so hard sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, well, they don't know who you are. All we've done is train them to be a little cautious. I can't just be like, let that facade down right this second.
No, my daughter likes you a lot. I think that she's in a very shy stage right now. And there was someone else at the party there that had 2 kids and they were on the slip and slide, and she was saying that her kids were like extremely shy. So I was like, oh, my daughter, but no, it was fine.
She's such a cutie.
But I looked at one point, Paul, I was like playing basketball and I looked over to the side and I thought I saw you doing shots with my daughter, like little,
okay.
I'm hoping that
this is what I was gonna say. So I don't talk down to kids. I meet kids at their level. So what I'd like to say to them is, hey, when we're together, you're not a kid, you're my pal. And I'll take out, normally Fireball because it tastes good for the kids. And we'll do like 3 shots each. And that's kind of a way that we can get to know each other. They get loosened up, I get loosened up, and then it's a lot of fun.
Please don't do that again. Please don't do that again. My daughter,
was she in the car ride home? Was she okay in the car ride?
Very talkative, like telling all these stories about how she can't wait to go to college and party. And
did she tell you the joke? All right, I told her this joke. I hope she told it to you. She said, I said to her, I said, Prince, when you have sex with 3 people, it's called a threesome. And she's like, yeah. And I go, when you have sex with, just another person, you call it a twosome. And she goes, yeah. And I go, and, I guess that's why, a lot of people call you handsome.
She didn't tell me that joke. And if you told that joke to my daughter, it's really inappropriate. It's really we will not.
I thought
be back.
It was a fun joke. I thought it was a fun joke.
We will not be back. We will not be back.
Kids love jokes. Kids love
kids do love jokes, but they don't love those kinds of jokes. But anyway, had a great time at the barbecue.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you coming. It was nice. And, and again, we'll have other outings that aren't just based around competition. My wife did walk away with the first place trophy.
But that was, honestly, Paul, it seemed a little fixed.
Look,
your wife to just happen to win.
I think that she came with an intent. The guy who won, Justin, who also won, was beaten in the first round. He came back with a lot of energy. See, you upset the balance. You came in, you won your first match. Not many people even won a first match.
Who did I beat?
I forget who you beat. Did you beat Wing?
No, I beat.
Who did you beat?
Last year's champion.
Oh, you did. That's right. You beat last year's champion right out of the gate. David Cass, creator of Black Monday.
Creator of Black Monday. And why did I beat him?
Because of what we talked about here on the show. He did not put you on Black Monday.
I was never on Black Monday. So when I showed up at the barbecue,
bam,
he's the creator of Black Monday. Right. I don't even really play basketball. He was the champion last year. And I said, well, I'm going to have to summon up all of my rage, my actor's rage. And you know what I'll do? I'm going to play the part of a basketball player. That's how good of an actor I am.
I love that.
Act like a basketball player.
By the way, I want to say one thing, and I know I have to bring out our first guest. You did a great job acting against David.
Is our person up at 5 or 6? 5:30 or 6? I think they're at 6, but I could be wrong.
Okay, great. No, I'm wrong. So June got mad at me because I'm So I have worked myself into this role of being like the announcer and also
you were a great
announcer.
And the samples and sound effects that you were blasting were so funny. And but for kids it was a little inappropriate because a lot
June
of it was like
saying she
suck my dick.
June was upset because when little kids are missing shots, I was like, ooh, rejected, or like, ouch, ugly shot. Like and she's like, can't do it for kids. I'm like, you know what? They don't care. But I was slamming kids through audio drops, which was like so funny. And then I felt bad when there was one kid who was not doing well, but it was fun too.
I love to see kids taking sports really seriously and getting mocked by adults.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Rob, I got to see something really fun this weekend. I went to the Hollywood Bowl to see Steve Martin and Martin Short live, which
how did that? I'm very jealous of that. I love both of those guys. Yeah. They're so funny. How did that get on your radar? What is the live show that they do?
Well, they did it on Netflix, or they taped a special for Netflix about a year ago. Okay. So I guess what they do is
I can't afford Netflix.
Okay.
Because I wasn't cast on Black Mondays.
Well, I do Netflix a la carte, so I only pay for what I watch. So that's the plan I have. It's actually, people say I should just switch over, but whatever. It's a 2-man show that is so fucking funny. It's like they both come out, they do some banter together, then Steve will leave, and then Martin will do some songs or characters, and then Steve will come out, play banjo, then they come back out together, they just do bits. It's very much like this show. I was texting you about that, and but I found out about this show because they were doing 3 nights at the Hollywood Bowl with fireworks afterwards.
We don't have fireworks on this show.
No, we don't. We should get them. Yeah. But when I was walking up to the venue, I was like, I didn't expect there to be bootleg shirts for like Steve Martin and Martin Short. I thought that's something that you only see, if Jay-Z is playing, or you go to like a Lakers game, you see bootleg things. So I want to show you the bootleg shirt that I got that I absolutely love. All right, here it is.
Do you mean that this is a shirt there's a merchandise table there, but this is like out in the parking lot somewhere?
Yes, there is no merchandise table at the Steve Martin Short show. So like there was no merch. Yeah, there was no merch to be had. Well, there was merch for the Stone Canyon Rangers, which is the banjo group, but that's it. It's just Stone Canyon Ranger merch, which by the way, they were phenomenal. Yeah. But I was looking more for something else. So here it is. This is the merch that I bought, and I want to really break it down with you here coming up. Can you see it?
What?
So it says Amigos in the Friends writing. Amigos in the Friends writing, and then it's just the 2 of them right there, and then that's it. And the back is just that's
so insane.
Oh, I just love that it's
and was this that I don't know how bootleg merchandise works. Is it someone just walking around with like a garbage bag selling it?
Just like holding like a ton of those in their hands.
Yeah. And how much was that shirt?
$20. $20.
Amazing.
But it's not the 3 Amigos because there's no Chevy Chase. It's a photoshopped image of just them. And it's not even the 2 Amigos. It's just Amigos. And I love that 3 Amigos does have a font, but I guess it's too complicated. So they just took the Friends font and made it. And by the way, it's a 1-night only thing. So I imagine, or it's a couple nights. They were there for 3 nights. If you don't sell these, you're sitting on a couple hundred of Amigo shirts. Yeah, you got a lot of Amigo shirts.
By the way, I'm sure that guy's watching the show because most people do watch this show. I will take like 10 of those shirts. That's a great shirt.
I love that shirt. I was very
I love that they cut Chevy Chase out of it. Like, I mean, they had to, but like, it's so great.
It was so fun. That show was really, really fun and so tight. It was crazy. Like, it was just like, they are phenomenal. It was a super fun night, but I will say I went all out. Because we had some guests in from out of town that were here, and we wanted to show them a nice time. So we got a box. I've never sat in a box at the Hollywood Bowl, but there was 4 of us. So we're like, we'll get a box. Now the box is built for 4 people, but I guess somewhere along the way, like Hollywood Bowl's like, you know what? We can cram 6 into this box. So we were in this box of 4. It was super comfortable. And then 2 other people shove up and get in there. And then it was like we were corralled in this box where for anyone to move, like you needed someone to take a chair out. Someone had to move. It was like the weirdest game of Tetris. So I was in the back row, not sitting with my group because I was the 4th man out. June was in front of me in the center. There's tables on top of them. They couldn't get their knees up. We were trapped. It was a good place to be trapped, but we were.
But I'm impressed that Steve Martin and Martin Short, was it sold out? I mean, it sounds like it was a crowded.
Yeah, it was like 18,000 people. Yeah,
that's like that. I mean, that's really cool that they're like drawing like a huge crowd like
for
that. That's
3
awesome.
nights in a row. Yeah, I mean, Chappelle I think sold out I think Chappelle was the first comedian to ever sell out the Hollywood Bowl, and then Mulaney, and that was just like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
and then Mulaney did it after he did it, and now Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah,
I went down. Where's my wife? I ate a couple edibles and went on a bike ride down to. We live near the Rose Bowl, so I went down to the Rose Bowl where they have a huge, fireworks thing, and it was, I was just on my bike, like watching the fireworks there. My family was like, asleep. And
do you tell them that you're going out? Because I'm always
my family doesn't know what I do. My family, I have a secret life. I have a double life because my wife does the morning news.
Yeah.
And so she goes to bed very early and my daughter goes to bed very early. So I have a double life. Like, I DJ at several gentlemen's clubs downtown Hollywood.
Love your DJ stuff because it's always world music, which I like. It's different. It's fun. Yeah.
I own a restaurant in Long Beach. So I go down there sometimes to check on my restaurant.
I love that place. That's a sushi Mexican fusion, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then I also have my kids' summer camp out on just off the coast. So sometimes I'll go out there, at night on Catalina Island, and I'll check on that at night.
I love that. So, and that's also the you have like about 4 or 5 different people that you've gone with that have just mysteriously fallen off that boat, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. There have been several campers that come to the summer camp that, unfortunately we haven't been able to find them. Yeah. There's been a lot of,
but that's it. Yeah. Look, if you get on a boat, you gotta be,
you sign up for my summer camp, you gotta be ready to have fun.
That's it.
But here's my thing. I was down there watching the fireworks, and what I could not get through my brain is the number of people I saw with dogs at the fireworks show. Like it was, and where I was pretty close to the Rose Bowl,
right?
But I was on a bridge, like on a street, and it was so echoey under the bridge. It was like, it was like Vietnam. It was like bah, 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 like the loudest thing, and all of the dogs are losing their shit, and all the owners are like, "Well, I don't know what's going on with Derek." I was like, your fucking dog is not enjoying
dog
this.
Does not want to see this. This is not a thing for a dog. This is not a thing, an activity to get. I always feel like whenever I see people taking a dog out, well, I don't see many people taking dogs out to fireworks shows, but I'm always, I am concerned about like when I'm in New York City sometimes and like it's like late night, I'm having that last, like that 3 a.m. slice of pizza. And I see like a kid in a stroller, like in the same pizza place. I'm like, what's going on here? Like they don't look like they're bad parents, but you're showing me that you are. Like, why is this kid out here?
I don't get it. I mean, you go to Disneyland and you see people with like brand new tiny little babies. Like, like a baby like this big at Disneyland. Like, oh yeah, well, we just brought the baby home and we took him to Disneyland. I'm like, it's 110 degrees here. Like your baby's gonna get sunburn and
they're not gonna have any fun. I remember like someone told me like, man, when you have your baby, just go to Hawaii, like vacation. I'm like, that seems like a nightmare because it'd be like, I can see everything that I would want to do, but I can't leave this room like that. Like, nah, man, it's great. No, baby, no way.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I have a special visitor. You want to pop in and say something over here?
Oh boy.
No. He is right on the side. You want to talk in this microphone? No. Okay. You want to do any of your bits and voices, your characters? No. Okay, get out of here. Oh, there he is. Get out of here.
Twanch
just watched Billy Madison, and he what did they say in Billy Madison? Okay, he says my name's not Twanch. You know what? What we should do maybe before we even play a grandma's thing. Molly has this game set up for us, which I thought would be fun. We both had a very busy day, and Molly has pulled up some images from Twitter. This is called trending images. She's going to show us the image.
I got to say, I haven't been on the internet all day. I've been slammed.
Yeah, I haven't either. I literally have been slammed. I don't know much about anything. I know one thing, which was I'll show you this really briefly. I know that Boris Johnson left office today. That was a big deal. I just wanted to show this because I thought this was really funny. This is true. This is not a bit. This is Boris Johnson's closing, like his final lines. He's like, I'm sad to give up the best job in the world, but them's the breaks.
Yeah. Super great. And that's a great note to leave on. What about
them's the breaks?
Do you have the clip of them playing Benny Hill?
Yeah. So then I guess Hugh Grant tweeted out, hey, can you guys all play like the Benny Hill theme song? And here is let's see, can we play it? Let's see if it will you know what? Oh, sorry. You know what? I'll get that clip pulled up. But yeah, it was like
no worries.
Yeah,
so Hugh Grant found the place where all of the politicians do all of their interviews, and he, I guess, contacted the people that are nearby and had them crank the Benny Hill theme song, and so everyone that was doing an interview about like the collapse of the British Parliament had to explain it over the Benny Hill theme song.
I love that he. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Things. Firstly, we need to make sure that we keep the basic functions of government going. That's really important. There are, for example, no ministers in DfE at the moment. That needs to be sorted out. Secondly, I think we need to try and select a new leader as quickly as we reasonably can. And obviously, we need to make sure we make the correct choice, but we should do it in a reasonably quick time. In terms of Boris staying on, the convention is that the outgoing Prime Minister does carry on. That's what happened when Theresa May left office. Is what happened when David Cameron left office. Man. And given that,
Hugh Grant, what a gem.
That is the best. Like that's the joke of the year so far. Like that's the best joke I've seen this year.
Truly great, and just because. It's meeting him perfectly. The music is meeting him perfectly. So yakety sax used to great effect. But Molly, can you show us?
Other than that, I've been in a news blackout.
Me too. That was like when I woke
anything because I've been busy all day.
I've been also busy. So Molly's going to show us an image,
and we have to say what we think was happening.
Yes, this is a trending image right now on Twitter, and we have to guess. All right, so GameStop. I know that GameStop was a part of that whole thing where everyone was buying stock in GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop was in the news because everybody pumped up their stock like 6 months ago. But I don't know the story here at all.
I'm like thinking because it's like I'm feeling like GameStop is closed for a very like base reason.
What does that sign say? I can't read that sign.
That's what I feel like the trending topic is. I bet you it's like GameStop is closed because like we got to figure out some shit. Like I feel like it's a very like bald statement. I feel like this is a national GameStop closure today for something like that.
All GameStops were closed today.
I mean that I don't know. I'm guessing if it's trending, it's all GameStops are closed. And Molly says, "Why?" So
CFO out, layoffs across company, including at my. Eyes are bad. GameStop.
Okay, so it says basically unclear how many people have been hit, but it doesn't sound small. So basically, it seems like they fired everybody today and didn't have enough to open up all the GameStops.
But why would firing the CFO affect their retail stores? Like that's just like kids going to work, like selling video games.
I wonder maybe if they fired some managers. It does seem. I mean, maybe they were open. I don't know. All right, but that at least is
okay.
All right,
I totally missed that story. Totally missed it. Yeah.
Next one. Beyonce.
Okay. Beyonce. I did see
getting an award.
I did see a video of Beyonce when she was little today. Early this morning, I checked the internet. She was little and she was singing with like a few other girls, and Beyonce is killing it. She's like 8 years old, something like that. And she's killing it. And the other girls are like kind of okay. But you can see Beyonce being Beyonce at like 8 years old. I don't know if
this
that's
looks
what
like
this
she's
is.
getting some sort of like Grammy or something. Like there, it seems to me.
She didn't die. No, someone said Beyonce R.I.P. No,
She did not die. Beyonce just released a new album. Like, did they give her a retroactive Grammy? Like, just like, was it sort of like, hey, we don't even care what you do. Like, we just know it will be worthy of a Grammy. And they just gave, like, they found a Grammy. She lost a Grammy. They gave her Grammy back. It seems like she's getting a Grammy.
Let's see. I'm too curious. What does that say?
All right. So this says, with her latest
first
single,
woman, the
first
third
woman
performer of all time to notch at least 20 top 10 titles as a solo artist.
Wow.
That's
first
amazing.
Woman to ever do that. To me, I would think a woman would always be at the top of that list. Right? It's the third performer of all time to notch 20 top 10 titles. Wow.
But that's just an insane stat. 20 top 10 titles.
So even Taylor Swift hasn't done that?
Well, there's been 2 others, I guess, right?
Yeah, but she's the first woman.
Oh, holy
So
cow.
Celine Dion hasn't done it. Taylor Swift hasn't done it. Beyonce is the first woman. Molly, do we have any other? Does anyone know the other? Because now I'm just kind of curious who the other people are. Does anyone know? I mean,
Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson.
Thank you.
All right, Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. Wow.
Yeah.
Beyonce, the best.
Sorry, and I've been in such a news blackout. Who is Paul McCartney and who is Michael Jackson?
Paul McCartney was a collaborator on a Kanye album.
Okay.
And Michael Jackson, I think, is an ESPN analyst.
Okay.
He does a lot more of college stuff. That's
okay.
it.
Cool. Cool.
People are saying that surprised that Aretha Franklin didn't. Yeah, I mean, that is shocking. Like to be the first woman.
Yeah, to have
20
top 10 titles.
Wow.
Yeah. But 20 is a lot. I mean, I have like 15.
Yeah,
top 10 songs.
And I love all the ones that you have. All right, so final one, Molly, or maybe there's more. We'll see. Maybe there's more. We'll see. Okay, who is this?
Oh, okay. He's shopping for 4th of July party supplies. It looks
like. Is that
like.
Bernie Sanders?
And they're out of it? No. Why would this person be wearing a winter jacket in the summer? Maybe there's a shortage of, because it looks like empty
supply chain issue with toilet paper. Are we back? Oh, is it is it the 2-year anniversary
of what?
Of our toilet paper shortage?
Oh
no.
I don't know.
No. That is a Bernie jacket. People are right. That is a Bernie jacket.
It does look like a little bit like Bernie. I don't know. I just don't go on the. I didn't go on the internet.
All right.
Today.
What do we got?
Yeah.
What do we got, Molly? What is it? All right. So this is a big one. All right. So this is. Whoa. Okay. So this is the items that have been hit the hardest by supply chain: tampons, French mustard, Jiffy or Jif, or I pronounce it GIF, GIF creamy peanut butter, baby formula, and sriracha. Which
sriracha.
Yeah.
Why would it be mostly like sauces and condiments and then tampons? That doesn't make sense. But
it doesn't seem like they all are made in the same factory. Like it doesn't seem like sriracha is being made next to some tampons.
Right.
Like I don't know. Maybe it's an ingredient.
Did you see that Gavin? Did you see that? This is a small thing, but Gavin Newsom said that in California we're gonna start making our own insulin, which is such a cool fuck you to the rest of the.
That Gavin Newsom is getting ready to run for president, and all he is doing is using California, and thankfully we'll be getting the benefits of it as the test case for what America could be. And he'll be like,
did you see that ad he ran? He ran an ad in Florida. He was like, if you live in Florida, I know that I'm paraphrasing, but it sucks to be in Florida. Come to California. It's awesome out here. It was like, I'm totally paraphrasing, but that was the gist of it, is like, Florida sucks. You guys should come to California. It's awesome.
I know people are saying be careful praising Newsom. I'm not saying anything about Newsom in the grand scheme. I think he's running a very smart way. If you're going to run for president in 2 years, what he's trying to do is lay some very strong
Newsom's going to run for sure. I don't know who else is going to run, so I don't know where I stand on any of that. All I know is that
Yeah,
Biden's too old to do it again, right?
No, he got to step down. Or we think, but the issue with Sriracha, by the way, is a bad year for chilies in Mexico, so that's why. Yeah,
okay.
And that apparently is the same thing. I don't. Again, I have a lot of trouble. Like I will tell you that to see certain things from IKEA take months to get. IKEA always seems like it's always in stock, and IKEA everyone's getting hit by this.
Do you work at IKEA?
I work, I work in the meatball part of IKEA where we make the tiny Swedish meetballs. We're trying to still get rated on all the big websites. I'll show you, so far, our restaurant isn't getting the respect that we think it deserves. But we're trying. As a chef, I'm always trying to help. All right, so Rob, before our first guest comes, do you want to?
I think we should play. I think we should play. Do you have the
Molly's got
the stuff that I forwarded to you? Okay, Molly does. And I should apologize to our guest that our guest sent us he or she has so much stuff that we couldn't get to all of it. But let's listen to some of Grandma Party Hotline. And just to get a feel for what we're dealing with, and then we'll talk to the person that created Grandma Party Hotline.
Got it.
So Molly, whatever you have, let's enjoy this.
Grandma, you have dementia. Grandma, you have dementia. The doctor called yesterday. He said you have dementia. Yeah, it's late-term dementia. If you're forgetting things, it's because of the dementia. Did you forget to tell us you had dementia? You have dementia. If it's late term, then you've had it for about 2 years. Did you forget to tell us you had dementia? That's why we had to call, because Ricky, Christine, Amanda, and Stella. Anyways, so you might forget dementia.
Okay. So Rob,
So
people
again,
are confused. Yeah.
This is a phone line that people call and they leave messages for Grandma.
It could fake be grandma. It's not a real grandma.
It's not a real grandma. Yeah, this is not a real grandma. This is the grandma with a capital G. This is your idea of what a grandma is. So people call from all over the world and they just leave messages in there. It's totally random. And it just goes into this voicemail bank that this person receives and posts them. So
what's kind of amazing about it in a way is you are letting people do whatever they want. So you're just giving them a focus. You're saying, hey, if you want to, you can leave a message for grandma and whatever anyone wants to do. So yes, you can maybe get a Mean Girls leaving a message for grandma. That might be
that sounded pretty mean. That sounded pretty mean.
It actually sounded like somebody just understood. Yeah, learned for the first time the word dementia. They said it too many times for it to seem casual.
Some kids just learned the word dementia.
They just got it.
Let's listen to another one, Molly.
In this video, I'm going to be going over the disturbing website iceberg provided by Reddit user Mitch _green for TDS1 game.
So this is just sort of I think like a background video of what we're talking about. Okay, so this is like sort of the history of it.
All right, history of it.
This iceberg goes in depth on some of the internet's most disturbing websites. GrandmaPartyHotlines.com. Going on to GrandmaPartyHotlines.com will bring you to this page where you see a spinning black triangle with the hotline phone number written all over it. If you call the hotline, you will hear this voicemail play to you from supposedly your grandma. Let's listen.
Hello, welcome to the Grandma Party Hotline. It's so good to hear from you. I miss you so much. Please leave me a message or send me a song. Oh, how I love to hear from you.
After hearing this, you'd leave a voicemail, and in due time, it would end up on the website for everyone to hear. At least, that's what I assume is going on. There are only 660 available messages to listen to right now. I imagine there are way more messages than just 660, but the ones that have been posted to the website and to YouTube as a whole total 660. I called the hotline myself and left a message, but who knows if they're ever going to post it.
All right, so now we know
Let's listen to Molly. Do you have another message that's not as mean as the first one? Let's see.
Here we go. We're pulling it up.
Okay.
Grandma, this is your grandson. You kind of left me in the Walmart parking lot, and I can't seem to find you. Please come pick me up. It's getting dark out. Give me a call back. Thanks.
So this is basically everyone in the world can call and leave a message for their grandma.
All right, let's hear another one. Let's do another one in here. I like this. So people are now in the chat getting on board. You see, it's like you can, but what is interesting is, again, it's a sociological experiment. You can be whatever you want to this grandma. You can sing to it. You can, here we go. Here's another one.
Hey, Grandma, it's me, Chelseana, and I have a song for you, so here it goes. Oh, Grandma, you know that I love you. I love all the things that you say and do. I'll walk through the park, a trip to the zoo. Oh, Grandma, I love you. Oh, Grandma, I love all the little things that you say and do. A hug and a kiss, a ride home from school. Oh, Grandma, I love you. Spending time together, talking on the phone. Happy birthday, presents, chocolate ice cream cones. Saying that you love me in so many ways. Talk to you later, Grandma. I hope you have a nice night, and I hope to hear from you soon because I miss you a lot. Bye.
Man, in a way, it's also like kind of sad because everyone has a different relationship with their grandma, but like some people are like, taking it seriously and like doing like
it reminds me of like I love going to, and this is before the COVID, but I love going to those like interactive theater events and what they force you to do in those things where you can do it to as much or as little as you want, which is like you interact with them as if they are like, I was pulled into this room and this girl I had to help her like shoot up, but you could either talk her out of it or whatever you wanted to do, right? Like you could play the version of it. So it does reward you for like committing to a choice, and you could do something destructive or you could do something nice. I like that idea that somebody could do this. All right. So people are liking that these are here. We do have we have grandma. I think we have grandma here.
We have grandma. Yeah, we do have grandma. And I don't know who this person is. I've never met this person. Their email does not disclose any information to me. They just hit me up. And I was a fan of this concept. So let's bring on grandma and we'll see what grandma wants to tell us.
All right.
Hi, grandma.
Hello.
Hi, grandma. How are you, grandma?
How's it going, everybody?
Good. Have we done a decent job explaining what this is? Like, when did you start this? Where did the idea come from?
Yeah, I think you set it up pretty good. So this, as you can guess, this started in Florida. This is a Florida thing. Around like 2005, when I was going to college in Orlando, and there was a bunch of kids, like artsy type kids, and that I was hanging out with. And for whatever reason, everyone started calling all of their weed grandma as like a code word. And it started to be like, hey, have you seen grandma? Has anyone picked up grandma? What's going on with grandma? And then eventually, what's it called? Is someone, I can hear something.
What is that noise?
Oh, sorry. This is my son who is by my microphone talking. Sorry. I'm not. I was trying to ignore him just so I wouldn't cut you off. But yeah, sorry, he's sorry.
So then eventually that kind of, wasn't very a good code word because it didn't really make sense. All these college kids obsessed with their grandmas all the time. But eventually there would be grandma parties, and then weirdly those parties evolved into grandma events, and there would be like a grandma party yard sale where all these grandma party kids would get together. And then eventually there'd be grandma party bazaars, which were like everyone would sell items and bands would play all day. And if you look in Orlando, there's still grandma party bazaars going on to this day. There's like third generation grandmas in Orlando still doing this weird thing.
That is so weird. It's so weird.
Like seeing it, like, what are you like? because it does seem like people can act out their feelings in a way, or give them themselves. Like, are you seeing like a lot of these different, like, are you shocked by like the way that people react to it?
So the hotline part of it was like, I was kind of like adjacent to these people, and I was like, hey, I have this idea for a hotline that was inspired by the They Might Be Giants had like Dial a Song, where you would call a phone number and you would hear a song. And I wanted to do the reverse of that, where you would call and leave a song, because most of the people in this group were musicians. Okay. And so I kind of went to this council of grandmas and I asked permission to make a grandma party hotline, and they gave me permission. And they also hooked me up with this grandma who's on the voicemail. I don't know who she is, but she's a grandma.
I love the council of grandmas. I mean, what was that like?
It's just, the top grandmas, like, you don't just step on their toes and start a hotline.
I got you.
To get permission. So yeah, once we started, it was just like our friends goofing off with each other, and I would post messages. And then eventually we all kind of moved away, and I moved to New York, and, I'd get a message every once in a while, but I'd always think about shutting it down. But then I thought, okay, let me put an ad in the Village Voice and sort of see what that does, because I was always obsessed with the Village Voice. And so then I got like all the like real hardcore like perverts calling.
What did the ad say? Like what category was the ad in?
Yeah, it was in like whatever the cheapest thing you could buy in the Village Voice was. Like it must have been just like, I don't know if it was a personal or what. It must have been cheap, but it was very brief. It probably was just like Grandma Party Hotline and then the number. Like, I don't think I would write much more than that.
Yeah. Right. So you have to think on two levels here, which is like, I'm reading the Village Voice. I'm like deep in it. Like, I'm deep in it, looking at what numbers to call. And I see it. Like, you are getting a very niche clientele from this, right?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I knew what I was asking for a little bit, right. But then that was really exciting for a while. Just like people calling in and like, saying horrible things and masturbating and whatever. And so that was fun for a bit, but I kind of like would always shelve it because I would, have a life, and running a party hotline is not, top of my priorities. But so then I started noticing getting calls every day. I'm like, what is going on? And I look on Google, and somehow I ended up on the first page of results for party hotlines. So if you just search the word party hotline, Grandma Party Hotlines are right there on the front page. And then also there was some website called like Cha-Cha, which I guess was like a Ask Jeeves type thing. And they had like someone asked like, what's a good party hotline? And they're like, try this one. Tell them Cha-Cha sent you. So I was getting all these messages like, Cha-Cha sent me. And I'm like, what is going on? And so then, that's when it became like, okay, every day I'm constantly getting calls now to the hotline. That's pretty much how it went viral.
That's so crazy. And have you gotten like, are most of them just people dicking around, or have you gotten like any sort of like, real emotional, or, people kind of like trying to talk to their dead grandma or anything like that?
Oh, definitely. I would say 90% is like, dick stuff, like saggy titties, like grandma, I love your saggy titties, whatever. But then there's definitely like, 2-3% of people like, I don't want to, I was going to do a voice, but, very sad about the grandmas.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
wanting to connect.
and the amount, like, obviously, you are not a full-time grandma, so you are doing other things.
Yes.
So are you, what we're hearing, like what's on your Instagram and what's on TikTok and Twitter or whatever, like those things these are like the best of the best, the cream of the crop, or are you putting everything up?
No, I'm definitely curating it, but I think you can tell as time goes on, I'm curating more carefully, like whereas in the early messages, it'd be exciting if someone just called and like, screamed something. I'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. But now I'm kind of like, oh, you need to really go with the premise. Like, I need to believe you're calling a grandma, and it's a real test of everyone's improv skills. And you really learn how little improv ability most of the world has, because they just call up and they freeze, they just go to something crude.
It's a one-sided improv conversation, because you can make this grandma a vicious grandma, you can make her a sweet grandma, you can make her a senile grandma. I love this idea. What was the most shocking message? I mean, obviously people are jerking off and doing stuff like that, but like, what was one that like took you by surprise, not just because it was vulgar, or like what was like just like a one that kind of set you back a little bit?
Cool. I think we might even have it in the selects, but someone recently did a prank phone call as a message, and you don't know it's a prank phone call until like the later third of it. And suddenly like a person's like, "Are you having fun? Is this fun for you?" And I'm like, whoa. This is like,
whoa.
This
all right.
let's fourth dimension.
Do you have that, Molly? I can play it if you don't have it, Molly.
Listed.
Yeah,
maybe it's the last one.
Hold on one second. We're gonna pull it up. We got a few. They are. We're just trying to tell from the the little subtitle. Okay, great.
There you go.
Hey, Grandma.
Oh no, it's not that one.
Not that one. Okay, hold
not
on.
that one. It's the one in the email. I just sent you an email, Molly. It's the last one. It says meta prank call.
Yeah, 667.
Yeah.
Okay. 667.
You can pull that up at home.
I could just pull it up right here, and it's which message is it? 607.
667.
All right, 667. I can pull that. Right. Okay, here. Hold on 1 second. Oh, 1 second. Pull it up. Sorry. Hold on. Squarespace.
And can I ask you, Paul, while you're setting this up?
I got it. Okay.
Why do you want to be anonymous? Because you want to keep this illusion going that this is a grandma and we shouldn't know who's behind it? Like most people, it seems like would be like, well, this is like, as it gets big, people would want to take credit for it or whatever. You don't have any interest in that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how far you could take a grandma party hotline.
Right. Yeah. You don't see business in it.
And, I also in parallel have my own kind of career.
Yeah.
And so it turns out I don't need it for that. So
right. You don't also want to be like if it comes up in a casual conversation with friends, you don't want someone to be questioning you, here we go. By the way, here is the one that I got it all ready here. I'm going to play it.
Hello, this is the Grandma Party Hotline. How can I help you? Ma'am, would you like to respond? Is there anything specific we can help you with today? Would you like to rent one of our grandmas? She can throw parties, she can set up party favors, or if you want to get a little freaky, we have grandmas ranging from 50 to 100. You can rent one any day, only for 50 cents. Some are more expensive than others, though, so you have to keep in mind that.
Are you having a good time?
Would you like to rent a grandma?
Are you having a good time?
Yes.
Sounds like it.
Now, would you like to rent a grandma?
No, I'm good.
Then why did you call?
You called me 4 times. Getting kind of aggravating.
All right, this is the manager of the Granny Hotline. Why did you call us 4 times? It's not very nice. If you're that eager, you could have gone to our website.
I love they did a full piece there.
Yeah.
So what did they do? They were calling. They just called a random person.
You usually find that the people who a lot of like the young people who call are like in like this calling frenzy, and I don't know what technology they're using, but they got like all these multiple. I can barely do a 3-way, but they got like 8 people connected in, and you can hear like people kind of chatting and. Sometimes I have heard them put me on another hotline. Like I'm listening to other hotlines. So,
but yet there's no voice on your side. Like they're leaving a blank message. So they almost created their own thing. Like they called from they created like a whole nother story, like a rental service. I love this.
Exactly.
All right. So let's see if our group can get in there. We have the number up on screen, and we'll see if we can kind of give you some equally good ones at a certain point. But we'll see.
People are gonna load you up. What did you like? How do people find out about this now? Like, where do people see? Is there an ad for it anywhere, or do people just know about it because of the internet and YouTube and whatever?
Yeah. So I've been pretty laid back about it, but yeah, like in that intro video, I guess it ended up on some Reddit list for most disturbing websites, and that's which is what an honor, like
what a great thing.
By the way, what's so interesting about it is it's not disturbing, right? It's like
I don't know. We're hearing the ones that he
right, I guess right, yeah. But I guess like the concept of it isn't disturbing, right? But I think that some people feel like it's creepy. But is it creepy? Like you can choose to make it creepy, or you can choose to make it sweet. Like it's almost like one of those pictures. It's like, am I looking at Abraham Lincoln or am I looking at a naked woman? Like it's like your perspective, dictates what you're seeing. I always use that as my only example about way that you can view
you
art.
love the Abraham Lincoln reference. You love that.
I mean,
it's funny too because it feels like such a throwback too, only because like phone based stuff and like 800 numbers, 900 numbers is such like an antiquated things. Like I was telling Paul earlier, like I haven't made a phone call in like so long. I just like don't just text everybody and whatever. But so it's cool and like interesting that people are like still finding it and still like connecting with it in that way.
Well, here's one thing I did recently, because I sort of like once all the Russia stuff happened where they were kind of like influencing the elections with the Instagram ads, I was like, oh, this sounds like fun. So I like started learning how to do the Instagram ads, and I would start to put grandma party hotline messages and I would like, I wouldn't go out and go to like a bar and spend money. So I'd have like, some extra money. I could throw like $20 at an Instagram ad and like kind of put like, I would just mix all sorts of different people. I would target like the juggalos and like,
my God,
like Real Housewives fans, and just like kind of just make this big cult melange of like different people that would just get really confused that like, why is someone paying to put this in front of me? And that was fun for a while. And just like inspired by, I'm like, if the Russians can do it, I can do it. And then I actually, around the same time, I was kind of high off that. And I saw there was Webby Awards, and I was like, oh, let me see. There's like a weird website category, and it's like part of this like cheaper Webby thing. You can, it was like $100 or something. So I'm like, oh, I'll submit for that. And we got nominated for a Webby for weirdest website, but I lost to NASA and the NASA, which I have kind of a beef with NASA because I don't really get why okay, here we go. Yeah, look at this. So exoplanet exploration, planets beyond our solar system. Weird, I don't know. I think maybe not. And then I lost also to the Rotten Apples, which is like a sexual assault search engine for movies.
Whoa.
Which, to me is maybe a little heavier than like weird.
Yeah, these aren't
this
weird.
Is not weird.
Yeah.
So this is me officially talking shit about the Webbies, like what's going on here? I should have won one of those. Okay, maybe I get it. NASA, your pump NASA is like helping you out with the social media or whatever. But, give me the other award.
That's so crazy. So what is the website? Is it grandmapartyhotline.com?
Exactly.
Okay, grandmapartyhotline.com.
And we put up the banner here. You can call right here. You can listen to over 670 messages.
And what is like your kind of goal with it? Like, do you just want to continue to fuck with people? I mean, it's not really fucking with people, but it's like it's sort of just like an art project in a way. It's like it's kind of like a cool like sort of like a sociological experiment or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it going for now, just taking little steps to like, oh, let me like get it on TikTok and Instagram and all these things I don't want to do, but I'm like eventually doing those things, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try to promote it. So here I am. And I definitely want to keep it anonymous and do kind of like a QAnon kind of vibe, like like I kind
grandmas, I love it. Take it over.
Like the QAnon got kind of less fun once we found out it was that one guy, Ron Watkins or whatever, from the documentary. He was like, oh, okay, I guess it's cool we know, but
okay.
I'd like to just try to keep it as anonymous and not keep the website as blank as possible.
Please welcome Jon Gabrus.
Oh, thank you so much, gents, for
dude. I'm so psyched for this show, man.
I have been hearing about this show from Pally for a long time, and first of all, people are very excited that you're here. We're excited that you're here, but I'm
excited to be here, Paul.
You look, and you make no bones about it. You smoke a lot of weed. Right, correct. We know that.
I have a diamond cannabis necklace on right now as we speak. Purchased at a Miami pawn shop. Check out the Miami episode for more details.
But this show feels like it could have killed you both. Like I feel like, was it intense for you to do this show?
Yeah, that was my first thought.
We joke a lot that like the show would have been much easier to physically handle 10 years ago at 30, but we couldn't have mentally handled it. So we're at the right headspace where we're being, but I'll tell you what, the only con of this gig, the dream job, the thing I've been dying to do my whole life, the only con is it's fucking brutal. Like once you're old, the things that suck to do are like traveling, not sleeping in your own bed, getting fucking wasted, eating off your like regular diet. Like I was like shitting 61 times a day in all different cities around America.
And and you don't have your own toilet. And that's the thing. Like I always find like if you are going to go out and blow it out, you want to be back to a safe toilet the next morning, right? And if you can't even get that, if you have to be in an airport to get a connecting flight, that's gonna be rough.
No, fuck, dude. It was my GI was shattered by the end. Like I had like no voice. You're just like constantly screaming like bullshit drunk, and then you're like, I came home and I felt like I felt like a Vietnam vet. I couldn't like readjust to normal life. I was like out to dinner with Tiffany, and I was like, this chicken parm is like so thick and so delicious. And she's like, yo, shut the fuck up, man.
Gabrus, did you guys shoot this like a normal TV show where you just have to shoot the whole thing in whatever, like a month? Or was it like, were you able to go and then recover and then go back out and recover?
A sort of, if I could use a Hollywood term, we sort of split the diff on that. We shot 7 episodes in 10 weeks. So, and each episode takes about a week with travel days and scout days. And it was one step more brutal than it should have been. Like we did a 3-week run and then 1 week off and then 2 weeks on. And in that week off, all I did was unpack, do laundry, repack.
Yeah.
The craziest thing about this job, and I keep talking about this, I feel like such a child, is just having to think about all the clothes. Like, and I'm partnered with Pally, who's got like a fucking rolling rack with him through the airport. You know,
I mean, Pally is like has like 3 looks for the Sonic 2 premiere. It's like you know, you catch him at the after party, you catch him on the red carpet, you catch him before. It's like it got sneakers. Like I don't even see like what I don't understand is like that like. You're next to Pally. Like, what kind of bags is he bringing to things? I feel like you're gonna have a duffel, and I feel like he's got like trunks.
Bro, I had to step up. I had 2 big wheelies and a camping duffel, and Pally had like a fleet, like a Kardashian level of like he had what looked when he would get all his bags, it would look like a droid lineup at like from Star Wars, like all different.
Because those sneakers, man, those sneakers and shoes, like that's the thing that takes up all the space. Sneakers and shoes, man, that's gonna screw you up.
Here's a little packing trick from Pally.
Yeah,
use the big duffel for all of your sneakers, because then you don't have to worry about, and it's just like doesn't make it super heavy, but it puts them all in one spot.
Got it.
And
that's
then
a
you
smart.
Put all your folded clothes tightly in all your. If you're a podcaster like us, you have a away suitcase.
Yeah, you got to get an away suitcase. You got to get your away suitcase. You got to get your Squarespace website, and you got to get your Casper mattress.
Gabrus, I don't know the history of where this idea came from. Was this something that you guys went and like? This feels like something you guys would come up with and go and pitch.
Yeah,
or were they just like, did they have this idea and we're like, let's find the craziest dum-dums and like?
Yeah, no, it was our idea. We had Pally and I, as you guys know. Paul had us in classes. We've been doing comedy together for 15 years. And we became Vegas heads together, starting at his bachelor party. And that was kind of always our travel, even when, and again, we live on opposite coasts, but we would fly to Vegas, meet in Vegas and party. And then we shot this movie, The Little Hours, Jeff Baina's movie in Italy. And we were on the same schedule because we were in our scenes together. It was 1 week, like 3 shoot days, but we had like 5 down days together in Italy. And we were like, this is more fun than a movie. Like, this is the best. We're just like driving around, eating, talking to everyone, barely speak English, doing bits. We were like, this is the fucking time of our lives. And then we were like, we have to figure out a way to do this again and again. And then our managers are weirdly good buddies, like old school party animal friends like us. And we alerted them, we want to do something like this. And then they found this book called 101 Places to Get Fucked Up Before You Die. And we bought the rights and we're like, that's the pitch. Like 40-year-old guys, bucket list shit. Because also the before you die part is not just like a cheeky thing. Like Adam's mom died really young and my dad died really young. And it like affected us both, which you saw only our our personality expression.
Right. Yeah.
You can see that we're living life a little harder, and I think we've had that in common for a long time. So we want to bring that energy to hanging out with bros. To
I also think that there's like this thing where you forget, like it's hard. Like my wife has actually been really good at this. Like she's like, you should go and do more like partying things. My wife has been actually really good at like going to like Pride in Miami, going to Vegas, and like with all of her friends. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forget to do that. Like it's stuff that you did when you were younger, or you feel like, oh, I could do that more. But as you get older, that stuff goes out the window. And then it's
really easy to put that shit off too. It's very easy to be like, oh, well, I can't do that. But like, but the trailer of that show is more, there's something more magical about it to me, that you guys are your age, married with families, whatever, because it kind of makes you guys more sympathetic, or it's like, it's not like you're like 20-year-old bros that like you would expect 20-year-old dumb idiots to do that. These are like guys that, are 40 years old, they're married. It's like, oh, this is going to probably fucking kill them.
We were those guys at 20 and we just kept going. And now we're like, can we still do it? It's a weird, like John Henry, but with like livers, it's like,
Now, is there a doctor on set? Is there a doctor, or there's a medic?
We have a set medic and a COVID person. That's how fucking serious we are.
Oh, right. Because you guys are doing this in the middle of COVID. You're traveling all over and you're drinking and eating. Like you seem like you're in a lot of indoors.
A partying COVID show.
Bro, we spit shit and pissed into the wind here. We pitched it in early February 2020, sold on like February 11th, February 15th, the world was shut down or whatever. Or like, it was like 1 month later, the world is shut down. We fly to Denver, like the pilot gets punted like 3 months, 4 times. It's like, all right, we'll do it in the spring. Oh, we'll do it in the fall. And me and Adam are like, oh no, they're going to like, just being desperate actors. We're like, there's nothing happening in the pandemic. Please, we need this gig. We fly into Denver to shoot the pilot. It eventually happens. And
by the way, what's in Denver? Like,
why did you guys pick
that? Would
Denver?
be the bucket list place, I don't think.
Like Moab,
exact. And that was part of the appeal of the show. Like, and Hubel, you kind of touched on it by saying like 40-year-old married guys. We're also going to Richmond, Virginia, and Denver, where it's like if you live within a 4-hour drive of those cities, we're going to show you how to have fun there. And it's like,
that's smart.
Like, and just to jump back to something you said about let's hang out with our adult friends. It turns out all of us are just waiting to get the text.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like all you're waiting for, Scheer, because it's like you said, Hubel, you could just put it off. Then you just need someone to go like, hey, July 16th, do you want to go to Vegas? You look at your calendar and go, oh shit, actually the kids are in camp. I can actually do that. And then all of a sudden, and now you're at your fucking computer, click. I got a room at the Cosmo and I'll see you there. Let's make a dinner reservation.
Yes.
Like,
I had a great night with Pally in Vegas where I still have a picture of him. I think it's the picture that comes up whenever he calls. And it's him in front of Pauly D from the Jersey Shore, like DJing in Vegas. Cause like we ended up at some party so late at night. It was like some bizarre place. Here's my other question. You're drinking, you're eating, you're getting high, you're in the Church of Cannabis. Can you show getting high on the show?
Well, this is something interesting. We can if the state is legal. So as long as we do ourselves breaking the law. But then, now this is some behind the scenes baseball, and I don't even know if they want me saying shit like this, but Discover buying Warner. Discover follows the Truth Initiative, the anti-smoking thing, so they can't show us inhale smoke of any kind.
Okay.
Oh,
it has nothing to do with the cannabis.
It's just about smoking in any way. Wow. So that is going to be an editing.
We do some tricky, funky editing and some title cards to kind of get us through it. But if you're a connoisseur of what people's eyes are supposed to look like, you'll know that Adam and I are high in almost every scene.
No, but that's my question, because it's like I get nervous. Like I would be nervous doing a podcast drunk or stoned. Like you're on camera. Do you have like
skiing down a mountain or like getting towed behind a motorboat?
It's a fucking nightmare, Paul. If I'm being honest, like we are constantly like, does anyone like, that feeling you get when you're like fucked up? We like look at the crew and like, do you hate us? Like we're sorry.
Right. Yeah. It's the most pressure.
You just start to feel like such an asshole. You're like, good. Like our poor showrunner, this guy Michael Rucker, great guy. He has to like deal with talent are nightmares, and now he's got talent that are half to 3/4 in the bag every time you're shooting. And it's like,
oh my God.
He's like, guys, don't forget to ask a question. We're like, we're sorry we fucked up the whole segment in the speakeasy. And the guy's like, yo, you didn't. You're 40. Are you crying? Like it gets that way. And then you also get like, your actor complaints that you get where you're like, well, Jesus Christ, I've asked like 20 times to just have someone lock this area off. Like when you're fucking wasted, you're like, I said we needed towels, and everyone's like, what the fuck?
Take it easy.
I'm 10 p.m. wasted, and it's 1 PM here. No one's on your level.
I have a dumb question. Is True TV also part of like HBO Max and all that's like
yes,
will it be on HBO
so.
Max also? Okay.
I believe there's like some sort of cooling off period, unlike purchasing a gun in this country. But if you want to watch a show on streaming, you have to wait 6 months to prove you're not a psycho or something.
Well, I mean, there's something crazy because it's like this show, I was a part of this too, where it's like Discovery comes in to buy this whole Warner Brothers and the whole, and it's like, are there any shows left? Like they bought like 150 scripts are being like thrown out the window because they're restructuring, but you guys got in right under because I've been watching this from afar, and it's like a dating show with like people from The Bachelor. Like, we cancel it the day before it was going to premiere. And it's like this other TV show with Damon Wayans Jr. was like, they all were up there in Vancouver, going to start shooting on Monday.
Yes.
It's like canceled it. Like, so you guys must have been like dodging a minefield.
Bro, I swear, fucking like Neo when Agent Smith opens up. We're just like somehow surviving, and I'll tell you how. The answer is upsetting. Our show is disgustingly cheap. They are not paying the talent that much. They are not paying. It's an unscripted show, and also like Discover owns Food and Travel, so we were wondering if like they're gonna be like, get the fuck out of here with your whack ass trap. Like we have real travel hosts. Like I panic. We're still in a panic, dude. The show still hasn't aired. We're 1 week away. Anything can fucking happen. Not to mention like a fascist overthrow of society. Like that.
Did you guys get to do like cool, like any kind of cool, like adventure-y stuff? Or was it all like stuff like, oh, I might get hurt. Like that shit where you're at the bottom of the ski slope. Like that looked like it was.
I broke a rib. I broke my rib. Yeah.
Oh,
it was the first. I only went down the bunny hill once. That was the one time I went down the hill you saw on camera, and I broke my rib. I broke my rib in Colorado while shooting a party animal. Like I'm just laughing and coughing are like the worst things for a broke or maybe a cracked rib, whatever it was, but it hurt for 8 weeks after. And coughing and laughing hurt a lot. And I'm smoking weed with Adam Pally, who's like one of the funniest people alive. And I'm just
oh my God.
In the end of Denver episode, you see like when the show airs next week, you'll see I start laughing at one point, and then I'm like like not making noise and shit. I'm like legit hurt. Never feel older than injuring yourself at work, and they're like, "Look, we have 2 more shoot days." And you fucking get up.
And did you guys like miss your families and stuff, or is it you're just so in such a haze? It's like I don't even remember my wife.
I don't know. You guys probably get to travel for work a fair amount. It's like those 4 days where you're not with your like partner that you're just like, or family, and you're just like, this is freedom, fuck. I don't have to, I have no house for, I don't have to walk the dog this morning. I don't have
the best.
I have an even cushier life to begin with. But then it's like day 5, you're like another night sleeping alone in a hotel room. It's like you like 3 weeks on the road, you wake up and you're like, have to be like, take a second to remember what city you're in. All hotels look the same from the inside and shit.
I did that movie Piranha, and we were shooting in Lake Havasu, and it was the same kind of idea. Like you'd always have to wrap by sundown. So you'd be done around like 4:30 in the afternoon. You get up early, but then you were in this town, and the only thing to really do in this town was like go to Chili's, because that was the only place that was open by the time you were done. And I was like drinking so much. We were all hanging out all the time. And I remember June came to visit me because I'd been gone for a couple of weeks. And
that movie was like all porn stars too. It's like you and Jerry O'Connell hanging out with like porn stars at the bar.
There was one porn star. There was some models. There was a lot of teen stars. And The worst picture of me ever that showed up in Us Weekly. Molly may be able to pull that one up. But June, there was always paparazzi on set, but June came down to visit me, and I just was so ingrained in this lifestyle of like, we go do this, then we go to this bar, then we go over here, we eat these ribs, and then we go, and like we were like on this private beach doing like jet skis, like it was like making barbecue. It was insane. And June looked at me at one point and she was like, "You're hanging out with trash. You're becoming trash."
Also, I know you can do it, but solid June impression.
Yeah, I can do a June impression all day. I will. I got to find this my Us Weekly picture. But there's one other question I wanted to ask you about the show. So you're all right. So
I was going to ask you, Gabrus, so now do you feel pretty confident if you're ever like, if you get bumped off a flight in Denver or Richmond or whatever, do you feel like, oh, I know like 3 or 4 cool places to go and hang out? Because like it's kind of cool when like a town. Like I've got this town, kind of locked.
And I have like the extra juice of like a research team that helped find these spots.
Right?
So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Not only have I personally tested them, but they were recommended by pros. And
well, then here's the question: did you have a better sandwich anywhere that you went? Than like on Long Island where they have the best deli sandwiches.
Man, no hero has ever beat my hero on Jerusalem Avenue in Merrick. Okay.
Wow.
Wait, to jump back to another question you guys asked earlier, which is now escaping me anyway, so don't worry.
About missing your family.
Oh, yes. And you just feel like I was gone for like all these weeks. Tiffany, my wife, is super jealous, and we're talking because she's a party animal and she likes to do cool shit.
Yeah.
And she came out to the last episode, which we were shooting in Maui. So she flew out, was staying in the hotel, and she was like partying a little bit. But then she came to like one shoot, and she was like, afterwards, she was like, "This is like not exactly as fun as I'm picturing it in my head." And I'm like, that's all I wanted to say, is that it is a job a little
right, because you still have to like hit your marks, you still got to talk to people, you still got to like, you got to do the job. Now
you only have the chef from the Chinese barbecue spot in the parking lot of a Portuguese center. You only have him for this hour-and-a-half block. If you have to shit, you got to hold it in and talk to. You don't want to waste this chef's time.
Yeah. What was your favorite town? Where'd you guys go? You went to Richmond, Denver, Moab, Maui,
Miami, San Juan, Atlanta, and Portland.
Oh my gosh. Well, those are pretty cool towns.
Yeah, they were all super rad. Richmond ahead of time, I couldn't imagine why we were going there.
Yeah.
And Moab ahead of time, I had never even seen the word written out.
Oh yeah, I've been to Moab.
I was just like not familiar with the word. I was like, it must be a typo. And I searched it when I got the email. I was like, oh, this place looks rad as fuck.
Yeah. And what did you walk away like, oh, that was like my favorite place, or did you kind of like did you not have a favorite?
I'll say like Maui is a place I've been to a bunch of times, and I really feel a kinship. I feel very happy there. I'm a beach kid, and I'm a rice protein and sweet protein guy. So like the food and the vibe at Maui works for me. I'll say in the last couple of years, I've been getting into camping and hiking and more outdoorsy type shit. Something I never did growing up as like a beach and city kid. So Moab hit in a different way. Like, so to use the metrics of where would I want to go back to without the show, the answer is Moab. But
cool.
The place that surprised me the most was Richmond. And something we learned down there is that there's a big hardcore music scene and a big hip hop scene.
Whoa.
And those are both great incubators for cool people to be living in your city. Like it's like two good vibes. And then all those people, like, as we know as artists, you don't stay a musician forever in Richmond. Like, you eventually are like, I also own this rad ass burger place called Cobra Burger, and we're all in different hardcore bands. And it's like, these guys make fucking great burgers. I haven't heard a lick of their music, but their burgers are fantastic.
You see, this
so the vibes are nice there. Yeah.
Now you feel like when this show becomes a hit, which it will, it's not even out yet, so it can't be a hit yet. But when it does, you're in a zone where people are going to be trying to get you drunk and high and fed at all points, which is not a bad thing. But then you're going to have to let down people too, because I won't do shots with people anymore. You know, everyone,
it's
you know,
the
and
Dave Attell, it's the Doug Benson. It's like those guys were cursed. Like Attell had to like make a PSA about like, please stop buying me shots. Like I need to go to recovery. And like Doug Benson's like, I can't imagine he's stoked in a post-COVID era to share joints with a bunch of strangers.
No, you
like,
gotta.
Like, it's like the time, and I know it already happens to me. If someone recognizes me, my vibe is enough that they're like, bro, we gotta smoke a cannon at my house. And it's always 3 more steps than you want. Yeah, exactly. It's always like, dude, we just get on the train. We're gonna go to my mom's house, get the weed. We'll go to my. And it's like, bro, no.
You never leave. You never leave.
And do you after this whole thing, do you and Pally feel like, was there any? This is just a dumb like talk show question, but like, was there any friction at all, or did you guys feel like even tighter because of all of like the fucking adventure of it all?
I would say we're definitely even tighter.
Wow.
Because like when you're friends, like you don't get to hang. Like when you're adult male friends with families, you don't like get to spend like summer camp amount of time with each other.
Not guilty time.
Yeah, and it felt like coming up at UCB where you're with 7 other people for way too much time, like more time than you spent with your family, where you're just like, well, we got this, we're going to see a movie before rehearsal, then we got rehearsal, then we're all going to get dinner and drinks probably after.
Well, that was like Hubel and I, we actually had a similar situation when we were shooting Hell Baby in New Orleans. Like we were doing a thing where we would shoot, be a pretty relatively easy shoot day, and then we'd be like, hey, you want to go get a drink before dinner? And we would get a drink before dinner. Then we'd go out to dinner and have like a drink or two, and then like, you want to go get a drink
together like the whole day. Like,
but you would drink like 5 times in a night because you're like, well, go get another drink now. We just had dinner and go see music, and it's like you get in those zones where you can't help it. By the way, this is a picture of me of becoming trash. This is from Us Weekly that I was able to pull up.
Oh my
God. Man.
That did not go over well.
I don't remember you as blonde with breasts, but I don't think it looked bad.
No, it's not bad. I guess it just doesn't feel like I'm the one who doesn't fit. Like you should have just cropped.
Who's the guy with his shirt off? That's not Jerry.
No, that's not Jerry. That is his name is oh my gosh, from Gossip Girl, Ed Westwick.
Okay.
Ed Westwick, who is who was at that point dating Jessica Shore. But Ed was not in the movie, and then that's Riley Steele, and then that's Kelly Brook.
You look like you're directing a music video. Like,
I'm like, all right, guys, that was great. We're gonna do it one more time.
Everybody, like, shut the fuck up, man. What are those shorts?
Okay, bro. Okay, cargo shorts.
Now where I was so thrilled, I got to show you this. This is where I was very, very happy. I'm just pulling it up right now. I went. Jerry's like, let's go swimming. Because we just had nothing else to do all the time. So, all right, shit, I gotta try to find it. So we go swimming. Hold on, I'm just pulling it over here. Okay. We go swimming, and thank God, People Magazine cut me out of this photo because this is the photo that was in People Magazine. Jerry on the beach, looking super ripped in a Speedo, right? Looks amazing. I am maybe an inch to the right of this photo.
Wearing cargo shorts.
In my bathing suit, shirtless and untanned. Whoever took this picture for People Magazine did me such a solid by never incorporating me in this picture. I feel like I'm so.
There was no way you were ever in that photo, Paul. I'm sorry. They were like, well, what about his uncle? It's like, we'll edit him out after.
It was not good for that at all. That was it. And before we let you go, Gabrus, just quickly, we got to talk about this. There's been a movement online, obviously.
What's happening? What is happening?
There it is. Gabrus for Herc. Obviously, they're making all these Marvel shows. And look, you got the headband on right now. You look like fucking Herc, you know?
I got bad news. Rumor has it, Brett Goldstein or whatever.
No, from Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso is Hercules at the end in the post-credit sequence in Thor: Love and Thunder.
No!
I'm getting a lot of tweets that are saying justice for Gabrus. So I feel good. He's got the hairy chest, but he doesn't have the size. And I love him. Dude's absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, super nice guy, super funny, super nice.
Sake.
I mean, when you look like this guy, you would have had to have done a tremendous amount of work, right? Because
I don't know, or they go a different way, and Hercules is like, a slightly different.
He's coming back.
Yeah,
Hercules has been out of it for a hot minute.
He's been through the ringer.
Oh,
a glutton too, you know.
I am so upset about this. If the rumors are true, I'm upset. But well, you go. Hot tip. This is great.
Okay, so when does the show come out? The 14th?
Yeah, in honor of Bastille Day for all my French Rev heads out there. We premiere a week from tonight on True TV. And as a matter of fact, the Impractical Jokers are on before us, and Adam and I are guests on that episode. So it's a full hour block of us.
Good.
Well, I always call True TV the Impractical Jokers Network because it seems like nothing. It seems like nothing can compete with them, and that they are so confident in the show, and it gets ratings nonstop. It's just like that, crazy. And so I actually feel like this is a great partnership. How is going on Impractical Jokers?
It's a blast, man. You know, like when we've worked in Hollywood a bunch, or to varying degrees, when you go to a show that's like in its like 7th season and it's just fucking smooth sailing and everybody's a pro, the budget's all there, and it's like we do this, bop, bop, bop. They're like everyone was an expert. The highlight, and I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, whatever, but the highlight was going into like the control room where they have like. We've all seen that room where there's like, oh, hey, camera 2, pick up camera 2, zoom in on the guy on the left. But this is like 40 hidden cameras and mics and stuff. And there's like a room full of people like it looks like NCIS or some shit. You know, it looks like a movie where it's like, God damn it, give me the info. You know, it's like, and it's like that many people work, and like all the machine stuff in the show, like learning about like how they do it. It's like, I think these people know that we're the Jokers. We got to switch out this guy for like, that guy might recognize Pally. Let's get him away from like doing all that. It was very, very cool.
Thanks for watching Thursdays with Rob and Paul. We are here every single week. You can watch us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/friendzone, or just like, subscribe, and do all the things that you do on YouTube right here, and watch all of our catalog of shows right now. Just get into it. Dig in. We got so much stuff for you.